When I was really young, I was always really loud inside of my house. Like, if I was arguing with my siblings, or if my parents didn't like get me McDonald's, I'd whine about it. But the moment I stood outside, the moment I had to go out in public, I was the complete opposite. Like, my personality did a complete 180. And I thought it was just me being like shy and timid, and I thought it was a part of life that I would kind of just outgrow. However, me being shy in public stayed with me, and before I knew it, I was already in high school, and I was just as shy as I was when I was like 5 years old. I didn't like to look at people. Could not make eye contact, could not assert my voice. I was too scared to ask strangers for help or advice. Like, if I ever needed to allocate an item, I wouldn't ask any of the staff. I'd literally look around, even if it took me 25, 30 more minutes. I just thought it was easier than me having to actually go and talk to somebody. And I know this happens to a lot of people, and the social anxiety is a real thing. And it affects a lot of us, especially when we're growing up. A lot of us throughout high school, we're going to have to give oral presentations. And that's a very scary thing for a lot of people. A lot of people get really nervous when they have to stand up in front of a class and talk about literally anything. Even if you gave them the choice to talk about any topic, they still would be nervous. And one thing I never understood was, how come some people could not prepare at all, could not study for the... How could some people not prepare at all and perform perfectly fine in a public speaking setting? For example, the class clowns, they all could perform really well on a public speaking activity, whether they were talking about World War I, or the latest basketball game, or how Chick-fil-A is the best fast food restaurant. It's like, you could give them any topic and they could confidently just talk. And even if they weren't prepared, even if they didn't have any flashcards or any notes, they could get up there and just talk. And even if they messed something up, they would just keep going as if nothing ever happened. However, there's the complete opposite, which was kind of like me. I would jot down notes. I'd have my flashcards ready to go. And then I'd go up in front of the classroom, and it's almost like I didn't prepare at all. I felt completely lost, completely nervous, and I'd slur my words, I'd stutter. And my worst thing that I would do, I'd always say like. I remember I had to do a 2-minute presentation, just like a quick intro of like what I like to do, like my name. It was just like one of those icebreakers that you do in high school to get to know people on like the first week. I said like 36 times. My teacher literally counted and told me it, and he said it in front of everybody. So imagine how I felt. But yeah, like I just got nervous. I had social anxiety. I had a fear of just talking in front of people, when in reality it's really not that deep. And it would always just blow my mind how there's some kids that could just stand in front of a public setting or stand in front of a room and just talk about literally anything with pure confidence. And I wanted to learn how to do that, and these 3 tips will definitely help you get to that level. Number 1, choose to go first. Whenever you go first, you do not have to compare yourself to other people's performances. You're the first person to go, and you have no comparison to be brought up to. Even if you're not 100% confident in what you're going to say or what you're going to do, always volunteer to go first. Getting it out of the way doesn't give you any time to build up any sort of nervousness or overthink anything. You kind of just get into the state of flow and you just go. You have nothing to really worry about, and you set the tone for the remaining people. Number 2, if you mess up, laugh it off. Make a joke out of it. And you might think this is drawing more attention to your flaws or your mistakes, but it's changing the mood and it's changing the effect of your mistakes. If you're willing to laugh it off, people aren't going to see it as a big deal, and they're going to laugh with you. If you mess up and you continue to say like that just makes you sound a whole lot more nervous, and it just destroys your mindset after that. If you mess up, admit you messed up and laugh it off, and then continue to correct it. I've seen this all the time, especially with the kids that don't prepare. They could say something so outlandish, and they could kind of get a sense of the room, and they understand that what they said just did not make sense or was completely inaccurate, and they'll correct themselves. They'll be like, oh, I'm such an idiot. I meant to say this. And everybody laughs, and the teacher laughs, and the whole dynamic of the room switches. And it would have been a lot worse if they just continued to stand up there, to stand up there and just stutter and say like, or, fidget, just really project nervousness to the crowd. So by you changing the mood of the room, it's almost as if your mistake never happened, and it almost as if the mistake you made was a good thing and actually enhanced the performance that you just gave. Number 3, dress the part. If you look the best you can, haircut, teeth whitened, cologne, you have a nice outfit on, if you have to present in front of a group of people, never hurts to wear a suit. It is honestly so beneficial to do that. And by putting yourself in that attire, you're really letting yourself know that you're taking this seriously, and it really means that you're putting the correct amount of effort, and you're putting yourself into a different mind frame. And the moment you are in these clothes that you're going to present well, and you're going to present to a classroom. Whereas if you go in like something sloppy, you're just not going to have the confidence to want to really project yourself. You're not going to want all the attention on you, and it's going to be a lot difficult for you to present, and you're just not going to feel like you belong in front of the room with everybody looking at you. And also, just to throw this in there too, this is a little trick that I also do too that I think helps tremendously. A lot of people are scared, specifically when they're talking in front of a lot of people. Whereas if they just have to talk in front of 1 or 2, it's not as difficult on them. So what you should do is, the moment you get up there and before you even present, have your eyes targeted on 3 different people. You want 1 all the way on the right side, 1 directly in the middle, and 1 all the way on the left. And throughout your presentation, you're going to rotate your eye contact between these 3 people, and it gives the effect of you looking at the entire room and acknowledging everybody. When in reality, you're only talking to 3 people. You're only acknowledging 3 people. And this makes you look a lot more confident, and it makes your presentation feel a whole lot easier. It's a whole lot easier to just check eyes with 3 people than feel the effect of maybe 20, 30 kids just staring at you. So the attention doesn't feel as overbearing on you, and the pressure as a whole is a whole lot lower. Implement these tips, and you will become a way better public speaker, and you will get over your social anxiety.